Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Taiji. We have today a focus, as I've been doing all week, on the connections between the movements. This is that point at which one movement ends and the next movement begins. So in a lot of cases, there's a focus on this particular movement or that particular movement, and that's absolutely necessary. What I'm doing today is, again, same for the rest of this week, or prior to this week, is to focus on the connections between how do you get from one to the next, and what are your options. Yesterday I gave example from brush knee. We go to handstrom the loop. We can go to needle at C-bottom. And we can also shift back to deflect downward before we step forward to parry and punch. So those are all options that we have from one movement to the next. How do we get there, and where is the point of change that gives us the opportunity? Where is that point within the movement itself that says, at this point I am going to change and become this other movement? Which other movement, right? Finding that point, finding that it's that inflection point. It's the point at which you can decide, this is the change I'm going to make, and this is how I'm going to make that change. And with Tai Chi, there's always multiple options. So let's do our stretches, we'll practice, we'll focus on that today. And yeah, it's a little chilly, and I need long sleeves now. Anyway, feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Bend the knees just a little bit. Open the back. Tuck the chin just slightly. Open the back of the neck. Open the shoulders. Round the back. Sink the chest. Just a little bit, not a lot. Just a tad. Focus on the lower Tanjian. Breathe in, hands circle to the front. And out, back around to both sides, up along the center line. Relax, breathe, and extend. Follow the circle. Pull up through the abs. Pull up and in. And when you do that, pull from inside. Don't think I'm going to pull in my abs and it's all coming from the outside. Think of it more as reaching from the inside to pull inward. Two more. Last time. Elbows drop down, wrist, fingertips. Follow your fingertips down, inward, roll down through the spine. Again, pull up and in. Reach up to roll over. And stretch out, use your legs. As if your fingertips had weights and they were pulling you down. And then extend, reach out. Two more. Use the breath. Use the upper part of the leg and the hip to raise the body. Breathe in. And breathe out. Hands return to your sides. Center. Left side, right side. Circle the front. Both sides. Up along center line, turn to the left. Knees over the toes, bend the knees. Open the hip. Relax through the back of the hip. Let it open. Let's do one more time. Come center. Turn to right. Follow the circle. The more you can support the body through the torso, the more you can open the hip. One more time. The more you can open the hip and let the body turn over the leg, the easier this is to do. And come center. Elbows drop down. Wrist, fingertips, hands return to your sides. I'll talk about a little bit more about body mechanics after we finish this next set. This is the outward-inward stretch. Hands circle front. Return to both sides. Up along center line. And reach out. Roll up. And inward. Elbows drop down. Wrist, fingertips, roll down. Follow the circle, smooth and continuous movement. All right? No stopping. Everything's smooth. And pull up. Keep the shoulders down. Follow the fingertips down. Use the hips, use the legs. Roll up. And come center. And my cat's unhappy again. And one more time. Up along center line. Stretch out. Pull up as you reach out. Bend the knees. Roll up. Extend. And return. Follow the fingertips down. Reach out. Use the legs. Come up. Then return to center. And stay there for just a second. Relax. Now I'm going to excuse me, talk just real quick about this idea of opening the hip and using the hip and the legs. So just now, as I called out, using, and you may not be able to see it as well from that angle, that's why I'm going to turn this way. All right, so as I'm here, this part of my leg just engaged. I'm getting ready to start up. As I go over, this is engaged, legs are holding. At this moment, I'm as far down as I can go. I'm down to the floor, yes I am. Alright, so it's the as far as you can go rule, okay? If the farthest you can go is here, that's fine. You have to know that, right? So I'm here, I know this is where I'm going, this is as far as I can go, and I'm going to start up. As I do that, this part of my leg engages, the outside muscle here engages, and I also start to engage the small muscles in the hip, and yeah, I know, I know, alright, so the gluteus maximus is the one that we see on the outside, the medialis and the minimus are the two that I'm really focused on. The tendons and ligaments that connect into the upper part of the leg need to be relaxed so that the hip can turn over the leg, because that's what we're doing in both of these exercises. So the hip has a socket where the leg fits in, right? In dance, we use turnout. Yeah, hip, leg, here we're good. All right, a little bit of space. Got to be a little bit of space in there. There's fluids in there that keep this moving. All right. In dance, we use turnout to enable the leg to go up. All right. If I'm here, I'm only going to go so far. If I turn out, I've got a full range of movement. That's what we're doing as we go through these exercises, and as I'm calling out, let the leg stay in place, let the hip turn over the leg. So you're solid in place. Yeah, this is the best direction. This is the best way to go. I'm solid in place. My legs are solid. As I reach up, all of this pulls up, and there's a separation between the hip and the leg, more than what there would normally be, right? I'm trying to open that, right? Open it up, and as I turn, this idea of allowing the leg to stay there and turning the hip around the leg, right? Leg stays there, hip turns. In dance, I just talked about this. We turn out, the leg can now go up. I can go further. If I don't turn out, I'm stuck. There's only so far it's going to go. Turn out, I can go up. As we turn the hip, think about that idea that your normal position is here. And now you're going to increase that position so that you have more flexibility in the hip. All right, enough of that. It's an important principle if you want to ever be able to do a side kick that goes up to somebody's shoulder without leaning to the other side. Yeah, I'm old. I got to check myself on this one. Okay, this is my shoulder. Side kick, no turnout. Best I can do. Side kick using the heel with a turnout. A little bit better. I'm wrong. My head-ish, my shoulder, which is where I was targeting, right? So this idea of having that flexibility gives us additional capabilities that if we don't pay attention to these little bitty things, we miss. Pay attention to this idea of opening the hip and this idea of I'm going to turn my leg and I'm leaving my hip here and I'm going to turn my hip and I'm going to leave my leg there. Pay attention to that separation a little bit as we do our walking set. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight, hands behind your back. Shift left, open right. Transfer the weight to the right. Step through to the left. Transfer the weight. Shift back. Step through. Transfer the weight. Remember to extend the back leg. As we step through, the back leg should extend before it withdraws. That's that connection. I'm extended, now I'm going to withdraw. And step back. Pay attention where you put your toes. Turn. Behind. And again, pay attention where you put your toes. That's what gives you the correct position that you're going to end up with. And one more time to the side. And straight. Okay, this idea of, and I just spoke about that just a minute ago, this idea of the connection of where am I going next, right? In our stepping, I'm here, I step through. Where am I going next? What are my options from here? What can I do? Seriously, what can I do? I can shift back. I can use my back leg because it's got 40% of my weight, so I can continue forward. Right? I'm here. Back leg has got 40%. Front leg is 60%. From here, what can I do? I can shift back. Right? I can continue forward and bring this leg up. Pretty much my only options. Okay, this idea, okay, is where I was going this morning with this idea of the connections between. So I'm here. Basic stepping, the brush knee. Where can I go? Yesterday I talked about step up, hand strum the loop, step up, needle at C bottom, shift back, deflect downward, and punch. What I want to pay attention to a little bit more today is how we get to that option. Alright, so we have this idea of the movements being connected, that there is the open and close, that as I step up here, close, open, that transition, open to close, open to close, open to close, is how we find what's next. As you're practicing, right? As I learned this when I was first learning the form. How do I figure out, right, which movement comes next? I'm practicing on my own, got no video, all I've got is my memory, my notes, you know, and I can't look at my notes and practice at the same time. What am I going to do? Hey, how do I keep this connected? What do I do? If I'm open, the next movement has to be close. If I'm closed, the next movement has to be open. That transfer between yin and yang follows the breath. If I'm breathing out, the next thing I have to do is breathe in, right? So, I'll go through the form one time. Pay attention to this idea of the connections between. Look for the point at which the movement is either fully open or fully closed. That's your transition point. Feet together, stand straight. Shoulders down and relaxed. Pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Breathe in. Salute. Breathe out. Breathe in all the way to the right. Open the left. Breathe out. Center. Arms up. Open. And close. Breathe out. Open. And close. Turn. Grasp the bird's tail. Pull down. Press. Open. Close. Push. Fingertips down. Turn. Hold the hook. Single whip. Turn. Close. Hands come in. Open. Hands come up. Close. Raise your hands and turn. White crane spreads its wings. Open. Close. Brush knee. Open. Step up. Close. Hands strum the lute. Open. Step through. Shift back. Deflect downward. Parry. And punch. Shift back. Close the door. Turn. Crossing hands. Close. Open. Diagonal brush knee. And turn. Pull down. Press. Push. Palms down. Turn the foot. Palms press out. Turn. Fist under the elbow. Reach out. Push back the monkey. Hold the ball. Step behind, diagonal climb, and don't hit the wall. And shift back. Raise your hands. Turn. White crane spreads its wings. Turn. Brush knee. Step up. Needle at C bottom. Pull up. Step through. Fan through the back. Turn. Hold fist. And chop. 1, 2, 3. Deflect downward. Parry. And punch. Shift back. Ward off. Step through. Ward off. And ward off again. And pull down. Press. Shift back. And push. Turn. Single whip. Palms up. Turn front. Bring your right foot in parallel. Straighten. Left foot close and salute. Stay there. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, so we're going to do one more time. And I also want to talk a little bit about a couple other connections. The layering that I'm talking about. By now, that should start to be kind of apparent. So we have move, we have the breath, we have the intent, the idea behind the move, where the weight is, how we're going to balance, what the application might be, direction of force, the physics behind the move, right? We've got the physiology. And now we're layering on this idea of the connections between the movements and how this concept of open and close, the same as with the breath, fits with the form. Saying all of that all at the same time while doing the movements, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right, so, and I've talked about this repeatedly, this idea that we get one layer, and then we get another layer, and then we get another layer. And as we build the capability from one to the next, it's there, it's present. We don't have to consciously think about it to be able to do it. All right? If I'm doing brush knee, I do not, most of the time, unless I'm pointing something out in particular in my own practice, I do not have to think about the body mechanics of brush knee. I've mastered them. For that particular move, I know, my body knows what it's supposed to do. I know what it's supposed to do. I don't have to think about it. I just do it. I may think about direction of force. I may think about how much effort I'm going to put into this particular move. I may think about how much I want to bend, how low I'm going to go with my stance. I may think about that, but I don't have to think about the body mechanics. I've practiced it so much that it's second nature to me. That's the point of practice. It doesn't, it builds of its own. It's not something you can go out and say, I'm gonna go get this thing, and today I'm gonna know what it is, and tomorrow I can use it, and it's all wonderful. It don't work that way. We're human. We don't work that way. It doesn't happen. It takes time. It takes practice, and it takes knowing what you're supposed to be doing. Right? If some of these things, if I don't talk about it, there's no way that somebody watching me, particularly somebody watching me for the first time, is going to know that that's what I'm paying attention to today. This is internal arts. This is internal Nagel, the internal workmanship can be seen by those who know what to look for, but it's not apparent. Let's practice one more time. Just the first part. Focus on both the movement itself, and you can do this simultaneously, both the movement itself and the space between the movement that you're doing and the next movement. See it in your mind. Pull up, stand straight, feet together. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, salute. Breathe out. Breathe in. All the way to the right. Open the left. Breathe out. Find the connection. Where is the move? And where is the point of change? How does the movement complete? And at what point does it become the beginning of the next movement? Open and close. Find the circle. Smooth and continuous movement. Open and close. Breathe in. Breathe out. Follow the circle. See the pattern. What's next? It's right there. And turn. Crossing hands. Sink. And straight. Close the left. Salute. This idea of how one changes into the next. And yeah, I am. This change is part of the external movement. It's also part of what's going on in the lower Tantian. This concept of the swimming fish. Yin fish, yang fish. And they can turn and they swim together and they stay connected and they go in different directions sometimes, but they're always together. Yin and yang are always joined. In our form, we have this idea, not only from the lower Tantian, because that's advanced class, that's coming up in January. Alright, so not only do we have that idea, but we also have this idea that the external movements keep connections. That there's no up, down, up, keep, nope. Right? That's valid. Not the way I did it, but that type of movement is valid. for certain types of martial arts. That's not what we do in Tai Chi. Not even in Fa Jing we don't do that. Okay? So, alright? Everything is always connected. And the connection comes through the movement, through the breath, through the physical body, and through the connections with the chi, the mind, and the intent. Spirit and energy are coming up, but we got so far. I told you there was more. Right? Alright, so this is it for today. I'm going to stop here. I will be back tomorrow with Qigong and Friday with Qigong, Tai Chi next week. And keep in mind that we are changing. I am changing my daily routine here. Monday, after the new year, middle of January. Monday and Tuesday, Tai Chi. Wednesday, fundamentals, including Wudang's 3 basic methods. Thursday, Xingyi. And Friday will remain Qigong. See you tomorrow. Thank you.